President Trump is renewing talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. In a post on Truth Social, Trump called the discussion productive and announced plans for a potential second in-person meeting with Putin about ending the war in Ukraine. CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi joins us now. Olivia, great to see you as always. What more do we know about this call and also about the president's meeting with Ukraine's President Zelensky tomorrow?
Well, Nancy, there was quite a bit of news from this phone call between Russian President Vladimir Putin and President Trump, namely that they're planning a second summit. Now, if you'll remember back in August, the two leaders had met in Alaska. That summit didn't really have anything concrete come out of it, more so that the president wanted to meet with Putin face to face and know if he was serious about peace. But the president said today after that phone call that Putin congratulated him on his success in the Middle East and then went on to say that they have agreed to meet in Budapest, Hungary. I should also note that they agreed that there would be a meeting of high-level advisors before that meeting in Hungary between President Trump and President Putin. That's the precursor to kind of figure out what would be on the agenda, and namely, what would be the conditions necessary to try to end the war in Ukraine. As you mentioned, President Zelensky is going to be here in Washington tomorrow, meeting with President Trump with the focus of ending the war in Ukraine, but also talking about the U.S. coordination with Ukraine. There has been some rumblings that the Trump administration is interested in giving Ukraine greater intelligence access, some of that U.S. intelligence that would help those long-range missiles inside Russia that are helping them target some places inside Russia, kind of prolonging this war. But we know that Zelensky will be coming here tomorrow to meet with the president. No word if Zelensky would be part of that meeting with President Trump and President Putin. If you'll remember, Putin did not want to meet with Zelensky the last time. So certainly a lot to be watching over the next 24 hours of any development on ending the war in Ukraine with Russia.
And Olivia, I also want to ask you about Venezuela. The United States has been striking suspected drug boats in the Caribbean. Yesterday, the president said he had authorized CIA operations in the country. What more do we know about those operations?
Well, certainly somewhat of an escalation in the president's war against drug cartels in Venezuela, expanding it to Venezuela as a whole. They have certainly been targeting those boats off the coast, but now the president says there are greenlit CIA covert operations happening inside Venezuela, also saying that he would potentially like to do direct airstrikes on Venezuela to tamp down on some of the drugs flowing into the U.S. So what would amount to an escalation there? The president did not say anything about regime change and getting rid of the Maduro regime. But Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, did say today that this administration still views him as an illegitimate leader of Venezuela, Nancy. So certainly a lot of questions about what the future could look like there and the conflict that is unfolding.
Olivia Rinaldi, very good to see you. Thanks so much.